Hi everybody, welcome back to the Les Petites Saint Crochet blog. I'm Elise and this is little Freya Fox. She is my Norwegian inspired critter and I've got a lot to share with you today, and we're going to jump right into the beginning with decreases, the 4 common decreases that you might encounter when you are knitting toys. But I'm also going to talk about a new resource that I have. I'm going to compare this fox with my old fox, and I'm going to take you with us when we went apple picking up in the mountains. So let's get started. Alright, so I've gone ahead and cast on 25 stitches with the cable cast on, and if you haven't checked out that video, this is actually the 4th edition in the series Knitting Toys 101. So the first we did the cable cast on, the second we did how to knit and purl, the third was all about increasing, and this is the decreasing part. So we're going to learn how to knit 2 together, and I hope you don't mind all my rough spots on this table. This was my grandmother's and she had it in her home in Fort Worth, Texas for I don't even know how long, but I grew up with this table and it's just really special to me. So all these worn out spots just make my heart so happy. So anyway, we are going to learn the knit 2 together. So what I'm going to start off, and I'm just going to knit 3 here, just plain old knit 3, because I don't really want to do this on the edge here. So we're just going to knit 3 stitches just like normal. So to do the knit 2 together, and it's always abbreviated K and the number 2 and then TOG. Really what you're just going to do is you're going to act like you're knitting like one normal stitch like you normally do, but you're going to go into that second, you're going to come to the left of that second stitch, and then you're going to come out behind the first stitch. So you're catching both of them together, and then you knit just like normal. You wrap it around, bring that loop through, and take those stitches off. So I've taken 2 stitches and turned them into 1. So I'm going to knit 2, regular 2, and then I'm going to show you again the knit 2 together. So I'm coming from the left of that stitch, coming behind right there, if you see that. I'm wrapping around, bringing that loop through, and taking those stitches off the left needle. So there I've gone, I've decreased again, taken those 2 stitches, I'm going to knit 2 again, and I'm going to do another decrease. So I'm coming, that's first stitch, second stitch. Sometimes you have to fiddle with it, make sure you're right in there and you haven't split the stitch at all. Wrap it around, come through, and take it off the needle. So it's pretty simple, pretty easy, and you'll find this a lot in your knitting toys patterns. All right, now we are on the purl side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to purl the first 3 stitches just to get away from that edge. And we just come around here. And the purl 2 together is just like the knit 2 together, except for you're purling this time. So you have got your right hand needle, and you're going to come through both of these 2. So in front of these 2 stitches. If you can see right there. Going to wrap around just like you do the purl stitch, and just take it so you have your 1 loop here, and take those off the needle. So I'm going to purl 2 again. I'm going to show you the purl 2 together. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to go behind the 2 stitches here on the left. And I'm a pretty tight knitter, so sometimes it makes it a little bit like I have to force it in there. That's why I really like these metal Addy needles. There I come around again. I'm going to purl 2. I'm going to purl 2. Then I'm going to purl 2 together here. So I'm coming behind both of these. So that one and that one. Let me make sure I'm behind both. There we go. Wrap it around and bring it through. So it's not too hard. Sometimes the purl side for me is a little bit trickier just because it's making sure that I haven't split the stitch. And purling is just a little bit trickier sometimes. And now we are going to move on to the slip, slip, knit. All right, so we are going to learn how to do the slip, slip, knit here. And one of the things that you need to remember with this is that you're not just going to be slipping your stitches on from your left needle to your right. That's really the biggest thing you need to remember. So I'm just going to go ahead and knit the first 3 stitches here just to get away from that edge. So when you are slipping the stitches from the left needle to the right, you're going to slip them as if you're going to knit them. So you're just going to act like you're going to knit, but you're going to, instead of wrapping it around like you would to knit, you're going to take it right off of that left needle onto the right. And you're going to do that with the second stitch as well. You're going to take it from the left needle to the right, and now you have 2 of those slip stitches on the right needle. You're going to take your left hand needle, and in front of those 2 stitches, you're going to put your left hand needle in front of that, wrap around like you're going to knit, and bring your loop through and take those 2 needles off of the left onto the right. So we have slip, slip, knit right there. Now I'm going to knit 2 again. I'm going to demonstrate it one more time. So we're just going to slip as if to knit, slip as if to knit, and then we come in front, wrap it around, pull the loop through, and take those stitches off. One more time. This one's a really easy one. Once you just remember that you're not just slipping them off, you're slipping as if to knit. Slipping those, coming in front, wrapping around, bringing the loop up, and that's it. So I've saved the best for last. This is the purl 2 together through the back loop, and you'll see that abbreviated P2TOGTBL. Now, I'm not going to lie, this one's a little bit tricky, and if you're a tight knitter like me, it can sometimes feel really tricky. But we're going to go slow, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to purl 2 here, just to get away from that edge. So what we're going to do is, we learned the purl 2 together where you went like this. Well, that's basically the same thing, except for you're going to do it on the other side of the work. So basically you're going to turn your work while keeping this needle here, and you've identified these are your 2 stitches that you're going to work through, and you're going to come in this side from the right to the left, and then you're going to take that needle, that right hand needle, and you're going to bring it around like this. We're going to wrap around just like we would for a purl. We're going to take that loop through those 2, and so I know I have it because there it is, and then I'm going to take these 2 stitches from the left off. So yes, that one is a little bit tricky. I am not gonna lie, and sometimes it takes me more than one try to get them. So we're gonna do it one more time. So we have our 2 stitches here that we are going to purl 2 together through the back loop. So this is the front of our work here on the purl side. This is technically our front side with the knit side, but they call this the back loop because we're purling. So we're coming through the back here of our work, just purling just like we would now. Now that we've got it, we can purl normally, and you kind of have to wiggle that out and back. There it is. I've got my stitch right there. I can take it off of my left hand needle now, and I've decreased. Do it one more time. I'm going to just purl 2 normally, and then we're going to purl 2 together through the back loop. I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to come from this side. We're going to come around this way, and these 2 last stitches were tight. We're going to wrap it around. Let's see if I can get it. Let's see if I can get it. Come on, come on, come on. And I did it, yay. And there we go. The trickiest of them all. So this is little Freya Fox. She is a pattern from the Little Cotton Rabbits, and just like last week if you saw my video, this dress pattern is a modification of the seasonal dress pattern from Little Cotton Rabbits, and Susie Marie Knits does modifications, and they're just like a fuller skirt. But I went ahead and added my own color work chart, and so just so this isn't totally confusing, all of the links to all of this are actually in the blog post, and you can find the link for that in the description box below. So everything is going to be there if you want to find it. So a cute little Freya. Now I named her Freya because she is a Scandinavian little fox, because I just got the most amazing book. So this is Alice Starmore's charts for color knitting. So when I was designing the colorwork chart, I really wanted something that was Scandinavian feeling. And I found that this book is so wonderful, and it is broken up into regions. So when I was looking through it, I was really drawn to the Norwegian designs here, and I found several of them. So each one of these comes from the Norway section. And I just added a little border and then the pattern and another little border with the pattern up here. And I use like an aquamarine blue and a jade green, and this is an acid yellow color and a chocolate brown. And I really love how it all turned out on her dress. I love it. These aren't colors that I typically use. But one thing that I really love about this book is that there are all of these beautiful patterns that are horizontal, or they are borders that are vertical. They're all over panels, single motifs, and they're broken down into areas. So here's the Swedish ones, and they have them from all over the place. So there's Russian, there's Eastern Europe, there's Middle East, there's Ireland, all of these different beautiful places, Greece, and I just think this is a really good one. I have another book coming, and I was really hoping that I would have it today to share with you guys, but it is Knit Like a Latvian. And I'm really excited about that one. It's really a book where there are patterns for how to knit Latvian mittens. But what I'm really excited about with it is there are some beautiful colors. The Latvian colors are very unique, and they're beautiful, and the patterns are just really different. So I will share that when I get it, and hopefully that's going to be next week. But I really hope that you like little Freya here, and if you're interested in the chart, feel free to use it. It's on my blog, and I just think she looks so cute. So once I finished knitting little Freya Fox, I remembered that I had knit another little fox, and I was kind of curious how they would look different. And so when I put them together, I was kind of astonished that there are some pretty big differences. Number one, if you see the size, I'm literally using the exact same yarn, same needles, same pattern, same everything, and look at the difference in the size. That really astonished me. And what I think I did here is that I was more new to knitting the little Cotton Rabbits patterns, and I was knitting so tight. So I think that's why she is literally probably a good 2 inches shorter. So I think that's really what it comes down to, is tight knitting and a little more relaxed. I also think that one of the big differences, and I just think this comes with time, is the faces. Number one, I've gotten better with stuffing, so it's really important where you stuff the faces, especially for knitted toys. It's not as important when you're crocheting amigurumi, because you can stuff those suckers and they don't change their shape nearly as much as knitted toys. Knitted toys change their shapes with stuffing because it is a much stretchier fabric than the single crochets in amigurumi. So I really have gotten a little bit better. She just kind of looks like a little torpedo head here. And this one has a little more shaping with a little more in the cheeks and the top of her head, which I think it just makes it look just a little bit better. Also, I think the eye placement it's really important. Just play around when you're putting eyes on. Where should they go? And eye size. Although these are the same size eyes, these are a little bit further down, just a tad bit, and they're just a little bit closer, and these are just kind of really wide and spread apart. So I love how they turned out. Also, the nose, this is a wider embroidery on the nose. So if you can kind of see, that's tiny, this one's a little bit wider. So I just think all in all, this one's better, and it's just because I've been practicing, I've been doing it, I keep doing it and getting better. I still love this one though. This one's just a little bit better, I think, and I'm sure down the line they'll just keep getting better, or at least I hope so. I'm going to leave you here, and I hope that you will continue watching and watch our apple picking adventure up in the mountains. And I can literally hear my grandfather's voice in my head. He grew up on a farm in Illinois, and I can just hear him saying something like, "I can't believe you paid good money to go pick someone else's apples." So yes, we paid someone to pick their apples, but they're really good, and I'm going to make an apple crisp this week, and it'll be so yummy with a little bit cooler temperatures. But thank you so much for coming by. I hope that you will subscribe to my channel, that you will like the video, and I will see you next week. But keep watching, watch our apple adventures. We are here at the apple orchard and there are tons of apples and there are tons of people, but that's okay. It's Labor Day weekend and we kind of expected that, but it's beautiful, the sun is shining, and we brought Jersey Boy, and we're just having really fun. Right now we're at the Mitsu apples. We just got some gala apples and it's just fun to wander around here, and they actually sell these apple cider donuts that literally are worth the 2-hour drive up here, so